Hello,
on Europe.
everyone.
Hi, Natalia. Good to have you
Hi,
here.
Adrian. Hi,
So
Andre. Are you
let's
here?
let's get Andrea. Yeah,
Hello, Natalia.
there we go,
Here
Andre,
we
my man.
go.
Oh,
How are
good.
you doing?
I'm doing good. Great indeed. Lots of rainy days here in Portugal now. I think
Ah,
it's very similar to Poland, I would say. Eh?
Yeah, for sure. But I don't know how many degrees do you have, but I am sure we have less.
I will not try to bet on that because I know you win, so not trying to reach there.
Okay. Um. So.
so here we are, beyond Europe. First, I would like to ask the lovely audience to give us one thing. Could they tell us where they are writing from? So right now, where they are streaming from. So I'm streaming from Munich.
I am in Poznan right now.
Exactly.
And I am from SPI, Porto, in Portugal.
Amazing, amazing. Let's see. Oh, we have Rocío from Brussels, Ana Maria, Zagreb. Cool. Tahem from Munich. Give it to me. Give it to me. Yeah, Martina from Italy. Nice. Margarita from Poznan. Yes. Austria. Miriam from Bilbao. Hey, I'm from Bilbao also. ¿Qué tal? Veronica from Slovakia. Annabella from Madrid. Adriana from Slovakia. Wow, it's very much from everywhere, huh? All over Europe. Amazing. I like this. The Constance from Munich.
We are so surprised.
Right? Yeah, I wasn't expecting this. Okay, okay. Amazing stuff, amazing stuff. So, yeah, this is a an event that we do every now and then, every month and a half, where we talk about going out and getting experience from entrepreneurs. It's about progressing with your own ideas and your own startup. So, yeah. And I'm Adrian. I represent the Unternehmertum inside this tree tree partnership event. And yeah, and it's a entrepreneurship center in Munich. And then we have the lovely Natalia.
Yeah, I represent Poznań Science and Technology Park from Poland, and we are contact point in iGlobal. And you can go with us to USA, Israel, Canada, Ontario, and Quebec, and Singapore as well. And then we have Andrea.
Well, so I work in SPI. We are also IO for Singapore. So on this, we are on the race with Natalia. We have different host entrepreneurs. So if you want to go to Singapore, you can either contact Natalia, you can either contact us. If Natalia host entrepreneurs are already full, we are always an alternative, or vice versa. So we are working for the same outcome, and feel free to learn from our experiences. And if Singapore is your destination, well, then contact us.
Exactly. And talking about Singapore, we have an amazing entrepreneur who went to Singapore for 3 months, Ilona. And she's going to tell us all about her experience with an AI company working with Ali Hasnain. So today, Singapore is the topic, really. But first, let's talk about the agenda. So we're going to introduce the I Global program. That's Erasmus for Young Entrepreneurs Global. The different destinations, its funding options. Then we will feature the amazing Ilona, and then you'll be able to ask all of your questions, which we will answer in an orderly fashion. So, Erasmus for Young Entrepreneurs Global. If you ever wanted to go outside and have a few months of experience, if you wanted to see new markets, meet new people, see how they work, well, this is the program for you. You have a chance to take part in an international exchange in the US, Canada, Israel, South Korea, Taiwan, and Singapore for 1 to 3 months. You just have to apply through one of the intermediary organizations. So that is one of us three, for example, or maybe you have a local one. Just contact them and they will help you. Exactly. So to take part in the Erasmus for Young Entrepreneurs Global Program, you have to have these criteria fulfilled. You have to be a citizen of the EU and or the UK. Yeah, you can be and or, yeah. Have permanent residency in an EU member state or the UK, and you have to have the intention of starting a business in less than 3 years, and have less than three sorry, and have less than 3 years of entrepreneurial experience. So these are criteria that you have to fulfill. If you're not sure, just ask us and we'll try and help you. And so the places, the amazing places. So the US, you can go either to California or New York. We all know California is the global center of innovation. We know Silicon Valley. It has all of the tech giants, it has all the startups. It started everything regarding startups. So a good place to start, a good place to go, a good place to get experience. If not, if New York is more your thing, well, it's a very friendly state. It's got people from all over the world. If you want to do any kind of market research, well, that's the place because there's a community from every part of the world right there. Amazing and exciting. That's what I would say. Now, if Canada is more your thing, well, you have Ontario or Quebec. Ontario is a very, very talented place with people from science, technology, engineering, well, all kinds of things. It's very stable, very competitive, and you have many sectors: aerospace, automotive, food processing, life science, financial, software, film, and clean technologies. Well, if you speak French, well, let's go to Quebec, right? It's very cheap to start a startup right there, and it's very cheap to live in. And then, well, the business sectors include IT, electronics, life science, finance, green technology, and smart building and manufacturing. If you prefer Israel, well, it's very, very innovative. It's the fifth most innovative state worldwide, and it's got a very thriving R&D and cybersecurity sector. Lots of infrastructure for entrepreneurs and very supportive. And so, Andrea, if you could help me with the next one, Singapore.
Let's go. So, if Asia is your thing and you always wanted to explore Eastern shores, then these three next countries are for you. You can pick one of them. Singapore. Singapore will offer you strong research institutions, minimal bureaucracy for you for future businesses, infrastructures, and its focus on electronics, chemicals, biomedical sciences, and transport. We need to change for Taiwan, if you can do that.
Did it change?
It's changed. I cannot see the.
Yeah, it changed.
If you say it's changed, I believe so. So then for Taiwan, what we can tell you about Taiwan, it's one of the Asian largest economies. It's definitely a manufacturing powerhouse for many years. Wonderful conditions for international entrepreneurship. It has been investing a lot in this field for several decades already. It has 5+2 high growth sectors. These seven sectors are Internet of Things, biomedicine, green energy, smart machinery, defense, new agriculture, and of course, circular economy because they also believe in sustainability. And sustainability, it's an issue all over Asia. So it's not just of Taiwan or Singapore. So on South Korea, South Korea has a wonderful international reach. We all know a lot of things from South Korea. Sometimes we actually don't think too much about that. Frank, very friendly business environment. The government supports a lot of companies investing in R&D, and then it has like world-class IT industries. Some of the brands coming from South Korea, we know them very well because they are part of our daily life: Samsung, LG, Hyundai, and many others. So be my guest, come to Asia. We like that.
Exactly. So here's a quick rundown. Thank you very much, Andrea. So here we have all the destinations: Canada, USA, Israel, South Korea, Taiwan, Singapore. Oh, sorry, not all of them. Is it? Yeah. I think it's all of them. So there you have it. And NE financial support. That's new entrepreneurs. That's you. So if you do go out, you have this. What is this? So if you join the Erasmus for Young Entrepreneurs Gold program and you choose a destination, you make a match. Well, you get a lump sum of 900 euros per month to go to Canada and 800 lump sum for the flight. For the USA, it's 1,000 per month stipend and 800 for the flight. Israel, 900 per month, 600 for the flight. Taiwan, 700, 800. Singapore, 1,800. And then South Korea, 900 and 800. Take a photo of this or simply wait until I send the slides after the event. But yeah, interesting. So just so you know, you won't be alone. You won't be without anything if you go out. So there will be some support, of course. Yeah, interesting stuff. And so there are a couple of ways of matching with the HE, right, Natalia?
Right. You can surf our database in the IT tool. You can propose a business partner after prior contact, and we will recruit them to the project. And we also can create a fact sheet about you, and we will pass it to our partner who partner in the destination country who can suggest the potential host. So there are three ways of matching with HE. And you can use one of them or even all of them to search the perfect match for you. Yeah, we can move on.
Yeah,
Okay, let's invite Ilona for stage, Adrian.
yeah. She's up here. Wow.
Okay. Hi, Ilona. It's a pleasure to have you. Our guest today is Ilona Nawrot, a new entrepreneur from Poland. She took part in Erasmus for Young Entrepreneurs Global in Singapore, and she will tell us more about her story within iGlobal. Ilona represents IT sector. She established cooperation in Singapore with host entrepreneur Ali Hasnain, who you can see on the picture. Um, Ilona runs her company Deep Analyzer, which offers custom-made machine learning and data analytics solutions and consulting services. And their goal for the exchange was to share ideas and experiences related to technical aspects of their offer and the ways these translate into entrepreneurial results. So, welcome again, Ilona.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me.
It's such a pleasure that you will tell us more of your story. So, maybe let's start from the question, how did you go about finding your match?
Well, this is actually a funny story because normally these are entrepreneurs who are looking for host entrepreneurs and they are more active. But in my case, it was actually the total opposite because when I found out about the project, I obviously decided, wow, this is a great opportunity. This is something for me. Come on. So I did register. So I got accepted, but then COVID-19 pandemic kind of broke, and well, it's the program kind of stopped being that attractive because the situation was unstable. Then the program for some time was kind of okay, maybe it did not function for some time. So it was not actually possible to go abroad, etc. So actually, I stopped looking for any kind of match, and then a couple of months ago, actually, Ali contacted me, and we realized that we are a perfect match. This is how it actually.
So Ali found you and proposed the match, actually.
Yes. So what I can actually recommend to anybody starting with the project right now is to be very, very clear in your profile and detail about your objectives. and just create good profiles, because this is how you can actually
Attract AT.
this is how you can be found.
Yeah. So if you were already matched, have you had a match? How did you get into the commitment plan? Whether it was difficult to identify common priorities?
No, it was actually extremely easy for us. Identifying, finding common grounds and finding common priorities was very, very easy for us. Writing about it, it was yet another story. Finding common grounds, it was easy. It was already clear from the profile that we are a perfect match, because yes, I do offer custom-made machine learning and data analytics solutions, but currently I actually do venture into digital health space, in which I do not have that many contacts. And Ali actually have extensive both academic and professional experience in biomedical domain. He's got his PhD in biomed. So I knew from the very beginning that he could act as a sounding board for my ideas, and he could possibly use his business contacts to connect me with some other people. Then I also, as I've said, I want to propose new solutions in digital health space. So, but I do not have that much experience in safety critical systems. These are systems whose failure or malfunction can actually cause very serious harm, like death or injury, environmental harm, or serious loss in property. And you might actually all agree that in health domain, any kind of malfunction and a kind of error can cost people a lot, right? And Ali actually do offer multi-sensor calibration solutions. So I know it kind of sounds very, very esoteric, and nobody really knows what it means. So let me explain a little bit what it is about. So generally, any kind of vehicle or robot to understand its environment rely on sensors. Sensors are the vehicle or robot's eyes, right? And they must be very accurate because the vehicles, the robots, etc., they do make decisions based on data they get from sensors. And the problem is that sometimes sensors, sensors parameters, some sensors parameters change over time, and any kind of miscalibration, as it is called, might cause serious problems. So practically, if some kind of sensors parameters actually change, it may actually render the whole vehicle or the whole robot blind, because you can think of sensors for vehicles like of our eyes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you might all agree that these are both safety critical systems, because you want your vehicle to function properly, understand its environment properly. And with Ali, I could actually work on this kind of system, get more experience in these systems. And finally, we also both rely on machine learning solutions. So it was easy for us to find common ground. But as I've said, it was really difficult to actually write about it, because we are like most scientists. We laugh shopping and that kind of stuff, but all kind of social interactions are a little bit more difficult for us, and writing about different stuff is a little bit more difficult for us.
More challenging. Okay, so that was the way how you establish good connection with your host entrepreneur. And that's how we can summarize that good connection, just the same priorities, the same language, and the same or common ideas even. How about getting to the Singapore? Did you have any problems getting a visa to stay in the Singapore?
Well, actually, at the very beginning, I thought that it would be quite challenging because Singapore has quite strict rules if it comes to visas. Plus, there is no embassy. There is no embassy of Singapore in Poland, so nobody to actually go to and interact. So I had to use their internet system, and yeah, I thought it would be actually difficult, but the system actually do work. So I was really surprised because they did respond very promptly, usually within 48 hours. Obviously, I did have to explain to them the program, its objectives, etc., because it was something new to them. And yes, I hoped that I would qualify for some kind of exemption because work pass in Singapore does require you to have a contract with some kind of entrepreneur in Singapore, and there are strict rules that concerns this kind of contracts. But fortunately, I worked up with the Ministry of Manpower that as far as I do not take any kind of as far as I do not undergo any kind of on-the-job training in Singapore, and I do not meet with clients and provide them with some kind of services. And as far as there is no remuneration involved, and obviously according to the contract you will have to sign if you want to take part in the program, there cannot be any kind of remuneration from the part of host entrepreneur, then I could qualify for an exemption. So finally, I cleared my situation before going to Singapore, and it turned out that I do not need a visa, but I suggest and I recommend to anybody clearing your situation before going to Singapore to have some kind of mails to show up at the airport, because this program is not that known, and they might actually imply that you need some kind of work pass. And obviously you cannot state that you come as a tourist, yeah, because depending on the country, obviously it is either a crime or a felony. So I do not recommend that.
Okay. So you recommend making sure anyone about their situation and make it clear as much as possible.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
great.
as I said, it's very easy with their ministry because the system really works and they respond promptly.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think that it's really important to see to hear today, especially in case of Singapore. But how about flat during your stay? How did you find a flat, a place to stay in Singapore?
Well, actually, I know that most people, once going to Singapore, as Singapore is extremely expensive, they actually cross the border to Malaysia pretty much every single day. But as I've said, I was going just after the COVID-19 pandemic, just after Malaysia opened. So I was not really sure if it would work properly, if I won't have any kind of problems on the border. So I decided to stay in Singapore. And the cheapest options usually in Singapore are to share apartment with some other people. But for me, it was kind of strange to share apartment with like total strangers. I don't know. It's like I believe it is not for me. I didn't feel it didn't feel right for me, so I just used Booking.com to find a hotel. And as I've started looking for a place to live. A couple of months before, I was able to actually find a great promotion. So I found I did get like 15% off from the hotel and 20% off from Booking.com. So it turned out to not be that expensive.
Okay, so that was the best solution for you, and luckily you found the best solution. How about your experience with us with PPNT? What was your experience with getting PPNT on a board and helping them?
Well, actually, to be honest, as you might admit, my kind of stay in Singapore, my exchange was really smooth. I didn't have any kind of problems, so we did not really interact that much. I would say fortunately, because well, once people start interacting with you, it means that there are some problems. And
Right.
I believe that during COVID-19 pandemic, there was a lot of people with problems, right? But fortunately, my stay was really, really smooth. Everything went according to plan, so we did not interact that much, but all of the interactions were very, very nice. Everything went smooth. You provided me with all the information. I knew exactly what I have to do, what I have to provide you with, etc. So I was informed at each and every single step of my exchange. And the paperwork, wow, you covered that really nicely. So my experience with you was really great. Short, but great.
Thank you for that word. That means a lot for us, especially for my work, because you were my personal relationship. How would you summarize at the end your participation in iGlobal? Would you recommend to anyone taking part in this project?
Well, from my point of view, it was definitely a very, very valuable experience. I've learned a lot. I've met a lot of very, very great people with whom I hope to stay in contact, and I hope to actually work on some projects with them. It was great working with Ali. We still stay in contact. We actually do work on two other projects together.
Great.
Yes. So it was really great. I would just recommend everybody to have an idea for your stay abroad for your business, because if you don't, you will just go to the other country and perform some kind of work with no remuneration for it, right? But in my case, as I knew exactly what I want, I had very well defined objectives and very well defined plans. I was able to achieve all my objectives. So it was extremely valuable, as I've said, and well, it's extremely good opportunity to connect with people, and we all know that innovation is just networking, right? So
Yeah, that's
I
the base of.
recommend you all to create your plans and go and network.
Thank you very much, Ilona, for that short interview. Uh, I think that it's really valuable to hear your experience in Singapore and your story. You will have a chance to ask Ilona later on the Q&A section questions about her stay, about her experience, so we can move on the next slides. Thank you one more time, Ilona, for now.
The Q&A.
Thank you.
Yeah, the Q&A. Let's start.
So, guys, in the Q&A section, we will try and answer all the questions you have. So feel free to either write it in the Q&A tab, in the chat, or hey, if you want to talk to us, I can even put you up here and you can ask your question live in front of everyone.
Yeah.
So
We would love to
let's,
meet you in person, so we
yes.
invite you here.
So I already have a couple of questions here. We have an Ana Maria V. She says, is it possible to participate in the program for longer than 3 months, and what type of visa do we need to have for US specifically?
Let me answer maybe for that questions. No, the maximum length of stay with iGlobal, it's 3 months. You can stay up to 3 months. You can, unluckily, you can stay longer than 3 months. And what type of visa do we need? We also recommend everyone to contact local embassy in your country just to check personally your travel history and so on, and embassy will advise you right what visa you should proceed and so on. So that would be my answer. I hope that I answer. If
I,
not,
I think that
please.
was a good answer, Natalia.
Okay.
Judith, she asks, are there any specifics about the working arrangement between the HE and the NE? Anything mandatory? Working hours, payment, dot, dot, dot. Is it completely open and up to the HE and NE? That's a good question. I think this comes to what Ilona said about the having a plan, right, Natalia?
Right. It's open, as you said in the question. It's open and up to the HE and NE. What would be your plan for that collaboration? Well, if it comes to working hours and payment, HE cannot pay you any money for that relationships, because as we said at the beginning, it's a business exchange. You exchange your experience, so it's valuable for both of us, for both of you. What can I add? There are no specific arrangement, I would say. It really depends on what would you like to do with your hosts. It needs to have objectives, a plan, well motivated plan. It's always a good solution for that.
Exactly. Write what you want to do and don't agree to anything you don't want to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Next one. Anonymous says, can you explain the procedure, which documents are needed, visa process, my obligations as a new entrepreneur? I think it comes to what you just said, right? Like whatever you agree to,
Yeah,
that's like
whatever.
your obligations.
Yes, right. Whatever you agree, but for sure, joining to the project, as we mentioned at the beginning, you need to be a citizen of the Europe or UK. Uh, less, if you run a business, you need to have less than 3 years of experience in running the business, or you want to set up the business and you show us your business plan and say, hey, that's my plan for the business. If it comes to visa process, as I said before, it's really individual. We always recommend to ask embassy, because every case is like impersonal. Yeah, for sure, your obligation as an E, creating a collaboration plan, commitment plan, and then when you start your relationship, you will need to report us every month of your stay. What is the progress of your exchange? We would like to know about it. At the beginning of also, we would need the confirmation of your stay abroad, like your ticket flights and rental agreement. So that would be responsibilities of an E. And at the end, we ask also for the feedback and success stories. So that would be also some duties to have.
Yeah.
Andrea, would you add something?
I think that's very well explained. Andres, also feel free to add whatever you
I
want.
would not add anything to what you said, Natalia. You actually provided the information that is pretty much necessary.
Okay,
So
thank
from
you.
my part, it's very clean.
Okay, great. I hope for all of you
Sure.
it is clear also.
Okay. So remember, guys, you can ask questions to any of us, also Ilona. Okay, moving on to the next one. Martina asks, where can I find a guide for iGlobal for IOs? I guess regarding which IOs there are.
You can find the list of the contact points at the end of our slide presentations in the slides today, and you can also find them on iGlobal site. And there is the list of contact points. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And actually,
Anonymous.
you can, on that case, you can also just peruse on the IT tool and you
Yeah.
can check which host entrepreneur you find more interesting. Each host entrepreneur has an IO, and then you also have the information from them.
Exactly, nice. Okay, Anonymous asks, what would be the housing situation? Does the host entrepreneur provide or help finding it, or does the new entrepreneur have to arrange this all? Well, a question for any of you, Andrea or Natalia.
So it's responsibility from the new entrepreneur to find his accommodation. The host entrepreneur can be a nice person and give you some tips, give you some information about places where you can stay, cheap places, good places, best locations, but in the end, it's the new entrepreneur which needs to Google and check and make the contact. So it's new entrepreneur responsibility.
Right. Right. Totally
Nice.
right.
Okay, next question. Judith asks, regarding flight costs, if I add a fourth month outside Erasmus for Entrepreneurs Global and fly back afterwards in the return flight, is the return flight still covered? Interesting question. That's very good, right? That's a very good question.
That's very good question. I would need to concern about it. um, well, I think that I would need to consult that question, and Judith, I will come back to you with the answer, because it's really individual case for us. we didn't have that case, so I would need to consult it.
So
Andrea,
Judy,
would you agree?
yeah,
I agree. I do not have the answer for that question. So I also don't want to push an answer forward because it's a tricky question and there is no clear answer.
Yeah.
We needed to
Yeah.
actually ask support office on that.
so
Mhm.
if anyone wants to know the answer to this question, feel free to contact Andrea and Natalia, right? And then we
Mhm.
will keep
Right.
you updated. So, yeah, but thank you for the question, Judy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Veronica asks, did you all already had a business slash club running in your countries, or any of you had just an idea and plan on what you like to do after you come back from your stay abroad? So I believe you don't need to have anything running, but yeah, please feel free to answer, Veronica.
It's true, as Adrian just said, you don't need to have a business startup running. You can have a business plan and you go along with that business plan. It's always preferable to have previous experience. It helps in the process of better understanding where to go and how to go, but it's not mandatory for the program. So to have a business plan, it's mandatory. To have the previous experience, it is not.
Right.
Exactly. Okay, and I think the last question now. If the host entrepreneur can provide housing, is that okay? Well, if he's so kind, if he's so nice, then I think that's okay.
I agree with that very much.
Agree, but for sure he would need to sign a statement that he's uh, he's saying that you are staying during your stay abroad in his house, and he agree with that for sure.
One of his many houses and many mansions that he will have, that he will live, of course. So I think that was the Q&A section, but that doesn't mean you can't ask questions to us afterwards during the networking session or by email, which are here. Here are the emails. Wow, all of them. That's me.
Surprisingly, they show up.
Yeah, right. And
Yeah.
that's over me on the left, marketing for investments for young entrepreneurs global in Unternehmertum, Germany. That's the email. And then Miss
In the
Natalia,
middle.
the middle.
Yeah, in the middle I am here, there. You can contact me via iGlobal at ppnt.poznań.pl.
Exactly. And then the amazing Andre on the
And
right.
to the right side, there is me. First contact for SPI, Andrea Almeida. You have the email. It's my name, Andrea Almeida, spi.pt. So if you have any question also on Singapore, or I saw that a person was asking about South Korea, you can send the contact to SPI and then we can tell you who's the organization that is organizing the iGlobal for South Korea.
Yeah, I even prepared this morning the small table with that contact, so we can move into next slide. That small update from our side.
The small becomes here.
Yeah, here you can find contact points for all the destinations. I see that here is missing British Columbia, the state in Canada, but you can check it on iGlobal website also.
Exactly. Take a screenshot of this or wait until I share the the slides afterwards. But yeah, contact points, very important. Save this. Save this. Put this in your bookmarks. So, after all of this, beam, bam. Thank you very much. But stay for the networking part. As you can see, when you enter, there are different tables and different chairs. Just move around, talk to people, talk to Andrea, talk to Natalia, talk to me, talk to Constance, talk to Margarita, talk to anyone, and just yeah, have a good time. Thank you very much. That
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
let me get out of here. Present off.